Great, welcome to the essentials for graphing, right? And what you'll see here is going to be our favorite acronym for when we do graphing from here on out, and that is TV dust. And if you use that for every one of your graphs, you're going to be in great shape. You'll notice there's 6 letters in TV dust. Guess what? Every time I grade a graph for you, it's going to be out of 6 points, depending on if you hit each of these. So if you can remember TV dust and work your way through, you're going to be great. First things first, the first T is for the type of graph. Now, yeah, there's lots of types of graphs. If you look down here on the right-hand side, there's line graphs, bar graphs, and pie graphs. We won't do too many pie graphs in here, but line graph and bar graphs where you're really going to want to spend some time making sure you know when to use which one. A line graph shows change over time. So if something is happening every week or every year or every month or whatever, that's almost always going to be a line graph. And if it's something you can just count, like right now, like how many boys versus girls in this class, I can just count, take a snapshot. There's no time involved. That's going to be a bar graph. By the way, you almost always want your bars running up and down on a graph when we do these graphs, very rarely from the side. So that's type of graph. Cool. So in this idea, they're measuring the temperature versus time. Oh, I see time's involved, so it should be a line graph. Cool. Variables. The independent variable should go on the x-axis, the dependent on the y. When time is involved, 99% of the time, you're going to put time on the bottom, and then whatever you're measuring on the y-axis, right? Again, your independent variable, your dependent variable. Data table. Okay, usually you're going to get these giant sets of numbers, and they're really hard to keep track of. So if you look at the example on the back, this is what a data table should look like. And I have a data table set up for you for your problem on the back later today. But that's all you want to do is make a simple little chart for yourself, a little table, and that way when you actually go to the graph, it really cuts down on your mistakes. U is for unit labels, and we want to use 3 words all the time. Something in something. Examples would be time in minutes, temperature in degrees Celsius, whatever, right? What are you measuring? And then what unit are you using to measure it? So in this case, it's temperature in Celsius. Fantastic. Now we get into spacing and how readable it is. Sometimes people will do something like this and cram it all into this small little space. It doesn't make any sense. You can hardly read it. Or like this, if they didn't go every other, if they just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, they'd end here and their graph would look something like a lightning bolt or something. See how squished it is? So we want you to at least use half the graph up and down and at least half the graph left to right, if not more. We want the majority of the graph used up. All right. There's a trick for this we're going to look at later called hatch marks, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Then after spacing, you add a title. This one has a title. It can be anything. It can just be whatever. Just summarize it real quickly. How fast water's heating up. Great. Nice and simple. No big deal. And then you usually graph the line. You can connect it the best you can and you're done. TV dust. Pretty simple, right? Use that all the time to help you.